What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Drive Miami. My name is Steve, and today, well, we're doing pulleys. Check it out. Alright, so first things first, we need to go ahead and take care of the air box and get that out of there. So it's very simple. There's just little 3 tabs that go here in the front. You got to disconnect the mouth, and there should be about 2 bolts on the side that you disconnect, and then everything comes straight up. So we're going to take care of that right now. Alright, so next step is we need to go ahead and take out the fan shroud and then also the fan clutch. So in order to do that, you got to go ahead and take out your Torx bolt that's over here on the left hand side, which is a T27 Torx bit. After that, you're going to go ahead and remove this connector that's right here. Final step is to go ahead and put in a 32mm wrench to hold the actual fan clutch, and then we're going to bang it with the hammer. So we got to support this area before we go ahead and do that. So let's do that now. Alright, so we went ahead and took out the fan shroud and the fan clutch, so it's on to the next thing. Alright, so basically this is where the fan clutch was. Right under here, this is the belt that we need to take out first before we take out the belt behind it. In order to do that, you need a T60 Torx bolt that goes right under this pulley right here. This is the tensioner pulley, and you're going to relieve tension and then pull this completely off. There it is. And it's out. Alright, so in order to loosen the belt, all you have to do is go ahead and put an 8mm Allen key right in this socket right here towards the pulley. Sometimes the pulley will have a cap. You got to pop the cap off. You stick this in there and you add tension on it, and what happens is this will pull down, and this belt would be pretty much wrapped around this pulley. So all you got to do is just pop the belt off and everything literally comes right off. Another thing, you always have to check your belt. If your belt has any cracks or there's too much spacing in between these, like this one is, the belt is bad, or it's already been through some usage. So always make sure to check for cracks, anything like that. I don't know if this one has cracks. Let's see. But check for cracks, any kind of cracks or anything like that. Then you can just go ahead and replace the belt. I normally always replace the belt every chance I get, though. Alright, so the next step is we need to get this tensioner pulley out. So before we go ahead and do that, we need to take this pulley right here out first. This pulley right here is just 1 bolt. I'm not sure the exact size, but I'm using a half size, which is a 5/8, to go ahead and take this bolt out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then once we take this bolt out, we could access the tensioner pulley. So let's do that. So this is the bolt. It's one really long bolt, and it just goes straight through here. There's also a little dial pin or nipple, whatever you want to call it, that goes into a specific groove, and I'll show you that groove right now. Alright, so just so you know, that little nipple goes right into this little groove right here. The main reasons for that, to go ahead and position it correctly, because if you don't position this correctly when you reinstall it, you're going to have some issues. So make sure to take that into consideration. So yeah. The next step is to go ahead and take out this tensioner. As you see, you can hear the noise it's making, just like the other pulley I didn't show you, but they're all making these squeaky noises. That's why we're replacing them. We're going to replace this tensioner with a different type of tensioner, but it's going to do the exact same thing. Alright, so the next step is we got to go ahead and, before to get to this bracket, we got to take out this pulley. So you need your Allen key, your 8mm Allen key. You're just going to stick it into the slot, and rather than go to the right where you're going to relieve the tension on the pulley, you're going to go to the left just to break the bolt, which I'm going to do now. There you go. You saw the bolt just break. We're just going to keep spinning this, pull this pin out, and then this whole pulley should come out. Alright, so once you unscrew it, just a disclaimer, there is a little cap right here that you cannot lose. It's a little metal piece. Very important. Don't lose that, because you're going to have to swap this to the next pulley. So we're in front of the pulley. The pulley is actually gone. We went ahead and took out the pulley with this bolt right here. So we got to access this bolt right here. And you follow it under this one under, and then this bolt right here. Also, a little disclaimer, the bolt size is a 13 bolt. Let's go ahead and take that out. So just a little side-by-side comparison of the 2 pulleys. These are the 2 different types of pulleys. You have your mechanical and you have your hydraulic pulley. Which one's better? I am not sure. I just know that this is the one we purchased, so this is one we're gonna go ahead and install. If you notice how this one is placed, this basically goes more or less like that. You see more or less how they line up. This one's the top bolt, this one's the bottom bolt. But one thing that they don't tell you is you need to get 2 of these same bolts. Basically, that's one of the bottom bolts. It was originally right there. Once you pull it out, see if you get the same exact bolt, because they're gonna need it to be pushed right over here. And then once you got it right there, just go ahead and yeah. All right, so this is the space exactly where the tensioner was. The new tensioner, since it's slightly different, you just go ahead and bolt it up right over here, and then the bottom one right over there. Once you have the correct position, just go ahead and put the bolts in. Alright, so we got the new pulley in. Remember, like I said, little nipple goes into the groove, and it's as simple as just doing this. Look where the nipple is and see the little insertion. Just go ahead and pop it right in there, and it shouldn't move anywhere. That's how you know you're in the right spot. Alright, so the pulleys we just replaced look like they're very close together, but once you put the belt back on, don't worry about that. It's going to stay away from this pulley and they won't touch at all. Just a disclaimer. Also, towards the very bottom of the pulley, there is the tensioner. This belt right here needs to be replaced, but unfortunately we do not have the actual pulley. We forgot to go ahead and purchase it. But normally you're supposed to take off this pulley right here with a T50 Torx bit. You just go ahead and, like I said, the same way you relieve tension, just to the left, the opposite way, and you should be able to take out this pulley. Real quick, this is the comparison between 2 belts. This one right here is the old belt. This is the new belt. So you can see the distance between the grooves of the 2, like I was saying. One's further apart from the other. This one's further apart from this one. And also, these have no cracks. This one does. So, out with the old, in with the new. Alright, so basically we have the 2 pulleys on, the pulley and the tensioner in. So this is exactly how the belt is supposed to be set up. Basically, it's like a big reverse C. It goes around all of this stuff, and then around the tensioner and over everything back, everything else. So this is more or less, use this as a reference. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. So now that we're done with that, we got to put the other belt back on. So, boom, just like that. Basically, so just like that. Basically, it goes over, around, under this pulley, over the tensioner, and around the other pulley. And there you go. So now that the pulleys are in, the tensioner are in, all the belts, new belts are in, the only thing that's left to do is put the fan clutch, the fan shroud, assemble the intake, the MAF, and then we should be done. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. Alright, so intake is on. So this is the best angle I'm able to get. We're going to turn on the car and take a look at this belt. Go ahead, turn on the car, Brandon. Pulley's looking good. Second pulley's right there. No wobble. And let's see if we can get that third pulley. Basically the one right under the tag. No wobble. Nor do we have noise. So there you go. Alright, so that's that. So I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be a lot more episodes of good old E46 action, so stay tuned. You guys know what to do. Drive Miami.